I agree with that. Yeah.
So night 2, Matt Riddle defends the U.S. title against Sheamus. Again, it could go either way. It's not like the U.S. title is like super prestigious right now, anyhow. And honestly, when Riddle comes out, I forget he's the champion a lot of times. It's not a knock on him or anything, but it's just that thing where it's like
the title
doesn't really feel like he doesn't feel like the champion. Nobody's really chasing after him. This match isn't even about the championship. It's about Sheamus being annoyed that Matt Riddle was talking to him, so he bashed him with a scooter. Basically, it's just like one step below feuding over a shampoo bottle. Like there should have been a WrestleMania season. People who wanted to be the United States champion. Look at all the people that Drew McIntyre bullied last week. Those guys easily could have been like, "Hey, I want a shot at the United States championship." No, you didn't get that. Like, could have even had like, you know, Shelton or Cedric with Riddle trying to get a shot. But I'm just saying, a knock on Sheamus. I predicted this match was going to happen. I thought it was going to be built around the championship, at least. I thought, you know, Sheamus was going to reset his focus after his loss to Drew. And it was like, you know, I want to be a champion. I'm going to go after Matt Riddle. I need to win the United States Championship to better my career. The match isn't about the title. It's just secondary.
This is the problem with Fastlane. It put them in that position where they didn't have time to build anything up properly, except for what was already established.
Yes. I don't know who's going to win this one. It doesn't really matter in the long term, in my opinion. But honestly, I think putting the belt on Sheamus would be wise, because this ain't a knock on Matt Riddle, but I think a babyface chasing after Sheamus and getting a big victory over Sheamus do better for them than other heel beating Riddle, because I can't think of a heel right now on Raw who, you know, be United States champion at the moment. But I think Sheamus as United States champion and having somebody defeat him work in the long run. Unless, you know, they eventually do Ali, I will always back Ali beating Matt Riddle. I'll put that out there. So that's the one thing, but I don't think that's going to be happening right now. I think ship is sailed. Yes. So, yeah, what do you guys think of the United States title match?
Well, Joe, I thought that... sorry, I forgot. I'm just going to go. So gotta do my Matt Riddle thing now.
I was so confused at first. I was like, what the fuck's he talking about?
It's going to be a good physical match, but you're right. Matt Riddle is more of a character than a title holder now, so that's how it is there. And I guess I can't complain, because they could have easily made it a multi-man match, could pit Ali and Ricochet and everything, and just had like a fuller match. At least it'd probably be a decent match. But I have to agree that it's just there, and Matt Riddle's just Matt Riddle. Let's go with that. And I'd say it'd be a great match. I would like to have Sheamus to win it, because to me, you kind of need him with a title. Then you can build some people up there to take it on. But if not, I agree, and also agree with Matt's Heater, that they had a moment to make Ali the United States champion, and that could have been a nice WrestleMania match, but it's past now. So yeah, I'm going with Matt probably will retain, and they probably have a rematch, and I can see Sheamus winning it there. But that's all I see for that match. What you think, Master Heater? And sorry if I took the line if you was going to do it, but I had to.
No, I was not going to do that. I'm gonna, like, it's Sheamus's basic WrestleMania MO is that he has a match at WrestleMania and it never ends there. He has to have like the second match on the next pay-per-view. It's pretty much always this way. I'm gonna say Riddle is gonna win just because Sheamus won that match they had last week. They had Sheamus established dominance, so they're gonna have Riddle, fighting from underneath, learning from his mistakes and going back. It's the problem with Matt Riddle is for me is that they made him like he is kind of goofy. I know it's his natural state and everything, but they embraced the goofiness way too much to the point that when he attacked Sheamus after their match, I was like, I'm not buying this. This doesn't feel natural. That's not what that's not what the Matt Riddle you presented will do.
And then the thing is, he lost the match, and then you did the Oscar thing. It's like,
oh yeah,
you be pissed off, upset. You go around with your scooter and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's kind of like I understand.
And it's bad.
It's a cool character trait, but it's not what you should put all your eggs in that basket.
And it's really messed up that he messed up his lines, and that works for him. That it took me the next day to notice that. What did he say? Because I wasn't even paying attention. I just thought that was just normal. So like, man, he totally just blew the fourth wall there. Okay. But people are like, it's Matt Riddle. It's okay. It goes with his character. I'm like, does it though? See?
What is this character? We don't know.
See?
It's
kind of we're all kind of doing an RVD thing here because RVD did a lot of that.
He's a stoner. That's all.
Dean Ambrose did a lot of that too. He was always like,
But it's just remember. But the difference is Dean Ambrose does not like hokey shit.
Yes.
For a guy who does not like hokey shit, he sure did excel at it.
He still does.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like Matt Riddle is not defined. Like, are they saying he's a stoner or he's just like slow?
They honestly, the way they portray him like he's slow.
Yeah.
We know it's stoner, but they can't promote that. So
but are you trying to wink at me, tell me this guy's a stoner? But if I'm not privy to dirt sheets and backstage drama and everything, I wouldn't know that thing. I would just say
NXT did it well. NXT dropped hint. He wasn't an idiot at all in NXT.
No,
NXT he was Matt Riddle.
Yeah, he was a tough son of a bitch, but you just didn't mess with him. But he was cool. He's laid back.
He did drop marijuana hints in his promos, so that's all you really needed. As soon as not necessarily even when we went to SmackDown, they didn't really know what they were doing with him. But as soon as he got to Raw, they were just like, hey, you know what? We're going to turn you into, Bill and Ted right here, where that's not him. If you want to see the best Matt Riddle promo, check out his James Ellsworth promo. It was from WrestleCon, not WrestleCon Super Show. Was it Joey Janela Spring Break, I think? I think it was Spring Break, or it might have been Bloodsport. It was one of the WrestleCon shows like 3 years ago. 3 years ago now, shit. Because 2 years ago at Mania, he was wrestling Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, for the US title, for the North American title.
Yeah, North American. So 3 years ago, it's like what Riddle needs to be portrayed as isn't a dumb stoner. He's portrayed basically as like a Johnny Lawrence type. Yeah. Not Cobra Kai Johnny Lawrence, but Karate Kid Johnny Lawrence, where he's just your California douchebag. That's basically what he needs to be portrayed as. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
He's not funny then. Just talking about how Vince thinks of being stoned.
That's WWE's thoughts. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I think Riddle's gonna win this next. Just on purely the fact that it's classic old school booking of he loses the preview match but he wins the actual match. And then they go for a tiebreak.
Yeah. And then have a rematch later on Raw.
Probably.
Next up, we have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I'm okay with these two having a program again. I think it's cool that they're finally getting a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Like, you think about it, like you and your buddy coming up through the indies and everything, going through Ring of Honor, NXT, it's like, it's cool to have yourself a one-on-one match here, but it does feel kind of left field. I actually think the SmackDown tag titles make more sense to be in this match and for this to be on the SmackDown Mania show. But I'm cool with it being on here. Who's gonna win? I'm not sure on that one. Yet again, it could go either way. Sami Zayn loss doesn't do anything, but Sami Zayn's lost a lot lately, and Kevin Owens has lost a lot lately. It's honestly hard to say who's gonna win it. If I had a bullet to the head to pick, I'll just go with Kevin Owens, because I feel like Logan Paul, his involvement will lead to him and like costing Sammy or something, so might be what happens. It's as I said, it can go either way. Mohamed, your thoughts on this match here of Kevin Steen versus El Generico at WrestleMania? It's
like you said, it's a beautiful story of like how the two of them, started together in the Indies, went through Ring of Honor together, like had these ultimate the ultimate battles there, then went into NXT, had the ultimate battles there, came on to Raw. Their fates intertwined at WrestleMania twice before, where they were in the ladder match together, and then they had that huge enemy war in 2016 Battleground, which I think is the high mark for what they're gonna do as opponents. I don't think the match they're gonna have at WrestleMania is gonna top that or even come close to it. But it's still a good thing that they're doing this. Then they're at WrestleMania 34 as a tag team, and now 3 years later they're opponents again. It's nice that they sort of like on WWE they flew under the radar, but their fates have always been intertwined together. It's a cool thing. It's nice. As far as the match itself, I think Sammy needs to win more. It's basically Sammy's story right now. Kevin Owens is just the guy who's there. It's not to be the opponent.
Because Kevin doesn't really have angle. Sammy has this whole conspiracy thing. Exactly.
Which, I mean, like, it's Sammy's match needs to win more, but then again, when you think about it, if Sammy loses, it would fuel his conspiracy story even more. So I don't think you can lose with, like, as a viewer or as you cannot lose with either one of these guys winning. They both can come out on top, and you still have an avenue for that story to go to. That's pretty good. It might be wishful thinking, but I think like as an overall for their legacy, Sammy needs to win more than Owens does, and I'm gonna go with Sammy. James, what do you think?
I love this match because it's different. Because you got a face Owens versus a heel Sammy instead of usually the other way around.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Sammy's gonna win because Sammy needs this win. He wouldn't really had KO, but let's say something happened where Logan supposed to help, but a KO win, it could continue that there's a conspiracy against Sammy also. So it can go both ways, like Joe said. But I like this. I like this new Sammy. Praise Sammy is better. Let me say this. A heel Sami Zayn is good for the company because he's great as being a heel.
Yeah, he can really do it. And he's a unique heel. There is no heel that's actually acting like him. So he's much better. He's more he's different. Like he's not.
And what works for him is a lot of times people always say like their face version is just them turned up. And this, from what everyone who has worked with Sami Zayn, and even people who I know who have worked with Sami Zayn, said this is basically who Sami Zayn is. Like even people who love Sami Zayn, like Eddie Kingston, he loves Sami Zayn, but on an interview with him, he was basically saying, Sami Zayn, he's obnoxious to hang around with and stuff, and this is basically who Sami Zayn is.
Like, I remember when they did the dinner for 3 thing with Owens, Ambrose, and Cesaro, and they just buried saying he's annoying as a...
Yeah.
And he talks a lot and all this stuff like that, and that's the whole joke. So I remember when he was a face and he wanted to tell you, they like, oh, later Sammy, he'll go, and they like, that was an inside joke. But yeah, this is great. I like it. And to me, when he first turned heel, I thought it was great. His promos with Kevin was great. Yeah. Yes, he was a smart ass. He was smart as hell because he couldn't be a tough heel, but just be a smart ass. With the conspiracy, he's crazed now. He's off hinge and stuff like that. So he's kind of dangerous in that way and stuff. Because I meant. So go ahead, Joe. You go. I'm sorry, Dan.
I'm just saying, yep.
Yep. Yep.
That was his catchphrase at the time.
Yep.
I had a big dinner Friday, had Korean dinner, kind of went sleepy, so I kind of fell asleep the first half, but I woke up and saw the Logan Paul, and I was loving Sammy. Like, oh my God, beautiful. It's just how you just go over the top with everything and stuff like that. Like, it's a grand thing and stuff.
Blazer was amazing.
I'm interested in this match.
The trailer was really good. That trailer was...
That was.
Like, if you're watching this trailer in a vacuum, you don't know whatever it is, you're going to think, well, I want to see this documentary. It looks like a Netflix docu-series. That's what
it does.
Like. So you're like, I want to see this.
They did good with that one. So, yeah, I'm interested in this match I'm going to see because they roles reversed, so it's something different. Because I was like, oh my God, now when people like maybe be KO versus Sammy, like please not. But then now I'm looking at it, it's going to be different. It's just an unhinged Sammy versus a babyface KO, so I'm down for it. And I'm going with Sammy with this one.
Yeah, and KO is always unhinged anyway, babyface or heel over. So.
Yeah, but not against a bigger unhinged person.
I think this match needs is they haven't had traditional Owens and Zayn fist fight where there's like if you see those two have a fist fight, like feels different because they both lock up and they're both just wailing away at the same exact time. Mm-hmm. They have like a magic to when they throw punches with each other. Mm-hmm. That's what this match will need in order to completely sell it. It looks
like a real life hockey fight.
Yes, it does. Yes, exactly. Speaking of a hockey fight, we're going to have ourselves a drum fight next. A Nigerian drum fight. Whatever the fuck this is going to be. It's Big E defending the Intercontinental title against Apollo Crews. There you go.
Because he's 100% African, so, you know. You can say that.
Yet again, it's another match that could go either way. This WrestleMania is pretty much a 50-50 WrestleMania, with the exception of like maybe one match that is actually probably the next match we're talking about.
30% match.
This match could go either way here. Iggy continues to have, an Intercontinental title reign. We finally put it on Crews. I don't know exactly what this match is going to be yet, so it's hard to say. If I had to book it, I would keep the belt on Big E, honestly, right here. Build up him as the Intercontinental Champion, build up the Intercontinental Championship itself. I'm going to go with Big E winning this one. Mohamed, your thoughts on Intercontinental Championship match?
I think I will say, like, watching this whole rivalry has become a guilty pleasure of mine. It's
interesting to watch. Like I still laugh when Apollo talks.
Yeah, but that's the guilty pleasure part.
I'm intrigued. Yes, exactly. I'm intrigued. I don't hate it. I don't want to turn it off. They give the right amount. It's not overdone. Yeah. Like this, like we were saying, his segments aren't long segments. Even the in-ring portions, they aren't really overly long. They don't really overstay their welcome. Yeah,
they get to the point. They're efficient about it, and like that's kind of like what I love about it, because like if it wasn't for Apollo like doing that whole character left turn and becoming an over the top coming to America character, you would like this match would not grab your interest at all. It would be another match of the card, and Apollo and Big E again. Oh god, but him like doing taking that character outside, it's almost. I know it's like the night and day difference, but it's almost like one man gang becoming a team. It's very intriguing. Like, whoa, okay, that's weird, but it's still I'm with you for it. I want to see where this thing goes. I think Apollo should win. It's not that because like what you said about Big E and building the Intercontinental Championship around him and everything is these are actual valid points that cannot be argued. But then again, this is what Cruz's 4th, 5th title shot.
At least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't win this, then he's just basically a loser. And now you made this over the top character that's intriguing and people want to lock into it, but there is no credibility behind it.
Because this character could be the switch that makes him, finally, start winning completely. So
yeah,
makes sense.
So he needs to win this match. He needs it more. It's like Big E will rebound. Big E can get a rematch in the future. He can move on to the Universal Championship.
Big E is a good chance of winning Money in the Bank. Let's face it.
Exactly. So, and like. This like the usual Intercontinental Championship is to elevate someone, and Apollo needs that elevation right now.
It's true.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go I'm gonna say that they're gonna go with the right decision here, and Apollo Crews should win this match. James, what do you think?
Interesting match. Interesting. I'm going to agree with you that Apollo should win. And I say this because, not blaming Big E, but his title reign has not been best.
He hasn't.
I don't remember. No, it's just, he's been doing fine. He's been good promos. He's showing he's ready to take that next step. But it's just...
Because his title reign has basically been defending against Apollo Crews.
There's really not a SmackDown mid-card.
Yeah. And Sami Zayn. That's about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they need to move the belt off him because they've really not been doing anything, and it's been better to put it on Apollo. And Apollo, I like heels. I like people who usually faces be heels. I give him a chance. It's just, and he'd been great if he just took the whole African thing away, because it's just like, wow, that quickly and stuff like that. It's like, and here you go. I was fine when he said my roots are from, Nigeria and everything, but they just kept going up and up and up with it so fast where the accent, I'm okay with the accent. It's got to get used to it, but then the spear and the soldiers and now the drum fight, I'm like, wow, this is a lot real fast. So I'm curious to see where it goes, but yeah, I have to say Apollo has to win this. Big E will be okay. They can move Big E to the Universal picture, but we get to that after we talk about the main event, because
we still don't know what the rules are for the drum fight. So
yeah, but we'll hopefully find out next Friday. But
are there going to be Friday, like they're going to be drummers at the side and they're going to do the whole thing like between rounds or something like that?
Would this be a street fight?
I'm interested in seeing how it's going to be presented as a spectacle.
Hey, don't get your hopes up. It could be just a regular street fight. It could be a regular street fight. We know. It could be a regular street fight. All we know.
Yeah, but let me look up Nigerian drum fights here. Yes.
Oh my god! Oh my god! See, y'all get your inspections high. Like they got to sacrifice a goat or something. They be like, "Well, where's my goat?"
Okay, so
everything pulls up Apollo.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that everything comes up. So I think it does not exist in real life.
I don't know why I didn't do that on Friday, but I was just like, I want to see what this match actually is.
Yeah, Apollo for sure.
So it's everything they're going with is like what Apollo has been saying about it. So I guess there is no.
It's an Apollo's rules match.
Yeah, I guess there is no actual Nigerian drum fight on the record. Maybe
because it's so severe. There's no, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there are no survivors, even the drum.
So next up we have Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Build has been okay. It's been a bit much with the Orton and Alexa thing. Could have spaced it out a lot and paced the storyline a lot better. Granted, I would have had Bray return at just like Taker did at 20 against Kane.
Same.
Regardless, I still want this match honestly to be a squash. The rumor right now is also that they're going to have a cinematic match at Money in the Bank. I would have this match be a squash. I would have Bray Wyatt win and defeat Randy Orton. And granted, we were saying earlier that it doesn't make sense to have, complete like decisive victory and then continue after that. But I think this here, especially for the way this feud has been built, and especially for Orton's character, they do a cinematic match, which James, you were saying, Firefly Funhouse. If they do Firefly Funhouse 2 with Orton at Money in the Bank, that would be amazing. But right here, I would have Bray Wyatt win by a squash, and I honestly feel that they're going to do it that way. Bray Wyatt is my choice here. Mohamed?
Bray should just walk through Orton. Like, he should just, destroy him. Like you said, like from the beginning, once he torched him, I wanted an Undertaker 2004 style return at WrestleMania, like Undertaker did at 14 at WrestleMania 20. I was, it's really a good way, but granted, the Fiend is a different character. They wanted to, show that burned up stuff and everything. And okay, he made an appearance at Fastlane. I could have given that a pass, but I didn't need to see him the next night again. That was like you're giving away too much. You needed
and then have him on the swing set last week.
Yeah, but we got to remember now, pay-per-views are not what it used to be now. It's all about TV, and I agree with you 100%. Yeah. One time showing him would have been good enough. Yeah. And then wait for WrestleMania.
Yeah, but then again, even on TV, there has to be an anticipation for something. Like, if you watch a thriller TV series or an action or horror, supernatural, like you don't see the big bad every week. They show up. You just there are hints until the last few episodes where they show, or the mid.
Remember, they got 3 weeks to hype it up, so they got to do it real fast before people forget. You're trying to get tickets to sell, and I agree with you. Because funny enough, the swing set, I'd rather have that at Fastlane and just bam, all right, this is his look, and go with that. There you go. Just like that. She could be talking, he's right there, and then it just goes off and like, oh shit, what was that? And then we can speculate, and then on Mania happens, we see like, oh, it was him. See, there you go. Nope, they gotta rub it in now. You gotta get them 2 hits, gotta get everything.
They gotta sell those masks.
There you go. There you go.
I think honestly, Burnt Up Fiend has served his purpose. I think the Fiend that shows up at WrestleMania should be a brand new Fiend. It should not be the charcoal face and everything.
Well, plus right there, that's dollar signs for Vince, because if they can produce a third mask, that's even more money that's coming in.
Exactly.
It's on Master Heat of Logic, like you had 3 weeks to get cleaned up. Okay.
There you go.
So there you go.
Wherever, you can tell me that he can shift between, the school teacher Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, but he cannot. He cannot
change his outfit.
The outfit, even if his face is like scarred for life. It's kind of like, no, he should have. A character like this, you'd think he'd have regenerative powers, so he should, evolve even more. But
because because I like Bray Wyatt and the Fiend being separate. I do like when he does Bray Wyatt promos. So if they keep this burn gimmick, he can't do Bray Wyatt anymore. So they gotta fix that. Because
I think that
was the thing about the Fiend.
I think at the moment, as long as Alexa is in the picture, he cannot do the Bray Wyatt promos anymore. But it's like she's gonna be his mouthpiece until they split up or something happens.
And that's a travesty because he can talk. I get it, he couldn't, but he can talk.
Mohammed, what if when Bray Wyatt wins, what if he projects a new power and behind him just has a symbol that's projected behind him? He now has the Undertaker's best power.
Now, and ask Joe,
what symbol would that be?
A Fiend mask, yeah. Or it could be like the little bunny rabbit, yeah.
Exactly. And then after that, Alexa comes out with a scooter. He gets on the back, Black Power, and drives off.
And would they play Metallica at the same time again? But it can't be the same song.
That would opposite of Metallica.
That would be too much.
Yeah. I don't know what would be kids. They could do a kids pop.
They do a kids pop version of Metallica where that'd be perfect.
Exactly. See, Into the Sandman. There you go.
I was
Mass People pop for that
in the Garden of Eden.
There you go. I can see that he just raised it up and he drive off.
You see him driving off on a scooter
pop.
like slowly, and they would play, "Don't you know that I'm always beaten?"
For me, if you done Master Heater, Bray squash. Matter of fact, it should be a 10-minute match of a wonderful 5-minute introduction of Bray coming out. That would be awesome. Kill Randy, match over. Let's move on to what's next for him, which that's what I'm worried about. What is next? Because if he squashed Randy, I could see them doing a rematch next month.
Same.
It's
doing a gimmick one.
The problem is Randy is the equivalent of the most pestilent child ever. Like someone beats him, he does not. No, that's not
exactly.
No, I gotta have the last.
And that also, but the point is, he beats Randy. What's next? Disappear for 2 months.
Yes, I would have him.
Start a feud. Yeah, see.
I would have. him.
See.
I honestly would have him disappear. Like at least until.
Oh, I agree with you, but
someone worthy comes out.
Yeah.
And I would have Randy disappear. Like.
But I think Randy is
not
honestly. I feel Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton, honestly, after winning the bank, I feel he's going to take some time off just because he's been doing a lot past year and a half. A couple years ago, he said he wanted to do part-time anyhow. Or not part-time, but a lighter schedule, I should say. You could easily see him, taking time off for 2 months, 3 months, either returning before SummerSlam or right after SummerSlam. But I do feel Orton's going to be taking some time off here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking that in the match they could have Orton RKO the Fiend only for him to get up again, but they already did that on Raw. That's the problem with the exposure. That's when that's
the problem with Raw is it's they give away too much. It's like I was saying with Sasha and Bianca. You don't always need to have interaction with people. You can keep people apart. Yes,
exactly. That's the problem. That's why I said Fiend versus Orton, from the moment Alexa heralded the return, it should have been taken a lot slower. Again, everything else speed, but this one had to be a slow burn. This one had to show less. But they went through this phase of every week, let's see what other horror movie can we rip off now? Which, I mean, in a vacuum, I'd be cool with it, but you're giving me too much. It's I'm almost it's the only thing of the aura of the Fiend is the only thing holding this match together. There's no intrigue outside of it. It's Anyway.
Next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka and Rhea Ripley. And again, this one could go either way.
I don't know about that, Joe.
I think it could go either way, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they've hinted that Asuka is more vicious. If you like, when they had the whole thing with Shayna Baszler, so there's a good chance we might be seeing a more vicious Asuka in this match. If Rhea Ripley wins, I would be cool with it, but it still sucks that Asuka takes another Mania loss. I honestly am going with Asuka winning this one. I think Asuka's pulling out. I think they're going to start a heel turn for Asuka. I know it was rumored that Rhea is going to be a heel. I actually see Asuka going heel and Rhea winning it later on down the line. James, I know you thought it's going to go one way, so you're thinking Ripley is going to win it?
I want Asuka to win it. This is the messed up
we
thing.
all know that you want Asuka to win it. That's not the surprise.
The problem is, this all leads to Charlotte Flair,
Yes.
and that's the messed up thing about it. It's up to how much in the doghouse is Charlotte is, because Asuka can win, still lose to Charlotte, and they still have Charlotte versus Rhea, the rematch at a pay-per-view. Or Rhea can just dominate and still Charlotte versus Rhea. So it's just basically what place Charlotte is. It's going to be the great match. I hoping that we see a vicious Asuka, the Asuka proof of point. I want her to get a Mania win, but how Rhea just appeared, get a title match, going against Sasha, WrestleMania. A part of me don't see her losing, but anything can happen. So, and of course, they might win the tag team belts. We don't know. So, yeah, so they might be tag team champions, but I go with Asuka. I believe in the Empress of Tomorrow. They haven't treated her well enough. That's why that's what the doubt comes from. That's all. Man, what you think, Massey? What you think of Captain Rita?
I think Rhea coming out as a cruise captain would be perfect for a pirate themed WrestleMania. But then again, Asuka has to come out as a pirate captain. Sort of a
Kairi Sane.
Yeah, Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane.
She might bring the wheels.
Or maybe since we're going the anime theme, she could be a character from One Piece. But which I don't know. I never watched One Piece, but I know it's about pirates. So
I figured.
Yeah.
You would just say the name instead of saying One Piece.
Yeah, but
so I recommend not to watch.
Really, it's not good.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I know.
What can you start?
I know that's the problem.
Yes.
Once they go into that
Yeah.
1,000, that's like, God, I don't have the stamina to go through all of this.
Joe, that anime started when I was like 19 and 18. That's how long it's been going. So yeah. Yes. 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I remember people who tried to start it, in the past 5 years, but they never made it to the end. Like they are like, you'd quit around the 300 episode markers.
Holy fuck!
What?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is huge.
I've seen episodes. I've seen arcs, but I have not watched it I saw it from the beginning, but then it got, got off TV and then came back. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem sometimes with anime.
Still going strong too.
Yeah. The problem with anime sometimes they have these, like this extended period where they have week after week of just filler.
I think I have seen one episode of this because the main dude looks familiar. This little straw hat guy wearing like a red vest.
Fluffy.
His face is plastered over everything, so you might have just seen him.
Maybe.
Funny enough, though, it is a wrestling related thing. They did have a villain or a side character that had the Mankind mask. That's supposed to have been Mankind.
Oh, nice.
That's how long they've been going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 99. I was 19. I'm 40. So yeah, that tell you.
I was 12.
22 years.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. That is a lot.
So that's not a weekend binge right there. No.
No, that's a 2-year bench if you're gonna bench. But I think a vicious, like, if I don't, I have little faith in them doing this. But if they turn the corner on Asuka being the vicious heel, not like they did with the Kabuki Warriors, where they made them heels by just hair-squaring the Miz, but just like, you know, Asuka will do anything to win. Sort of like, if you guys remember subtly at the TakeOver Orlando, when she was going against Ember Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And she was acting kind of like a prick to Ember, and she sort of like took shortcuts.
Shoved the ref.
Yeah, she didn't break any rules, but she took shortcuts to win. And I think that kind of Asuka, that's the one that he should have beat Rhea Ripley. Like where she beats her, not by necessarily cheating, but it's clearly a fluke, and it's clearly a circumstantial thing, and then you can build on that. Now,
hopefully in a tag match, we'll see.
Yeah, I am hoping that that's what happens, but the years have shown me that they're never gonna fully get behind Asuka. She's always just the convenient person who's there for their next top girl. Yeah. But I hope.
To be honest, Charlotte Flair. It's just the road to Charlotte Flair. That's basically what it is.
Exactly. I hope they prove me wrong. I do. I really do.
Too.
Yeah, but.
Me too.
Yeah, let's
all right.
Go on to the main event.
So now we're on the main event, which I think it was you, Mohamed, who posted this for the first time about how it's an amazing comeback story for all three men, because Roman Reigns, leukemia. Actually, Roman Reigns had the Universal title.
Dropped it because
to give it up because of leukemia. Edge had, what belt was it, James, that Edge had?
WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Because you guys
and Mohamed said we would not be doing any more WrestleManias. And he had that belt. He had to retire as champion. You know, Edge had to retire. Daniel Bryan had to retire. Roman Reigns, nobody knew what was going to be happening. And now all three men on a collision course at the main event at WrestleMania. Wrestling fans, honestly, it's a feel-good story, honestly.
Yes.
For them. Not
if you're not
in storyline mode or anything. I mean, in real life, it's a great feel-good story for all three guys.
To have them like
Roman Reigns is
to have the main event, the biggest show of the year, after all of them went through some sort of trial and tribulation where they were not gonna. Where they might have not set foot in the ring again. That's a triumph of spirit right there.
Exactly. And Roman Reigns has been a amazing champion. Like, he feels like a champion. All of his matches feel like big fight matches. And Roman Reigns is one of the best booked people on the main roster because he's not in matches all the time. He had one SmackDown match the past 6 months. He doesn't do that. His character is portrayed as larger than life. Like he gets his hands dirty. At the same time, he's so cool, calm, and collected about everything. Where when he does attack a person, his chair shots have just become super vicious. Like it's great. Edge had the comeback story. Even though I would have loved to have seen Daniel Bryan win, I love the course that it took to get to this match. Edge has gone back to his heel character, and it works for him because the best Edge has always been a heel Edge, and his chair shots, much like Roman's, have been amazing. I don't like how Edge has been portrayed, though, as far as being, thinking that he's somehow getting screwed out of a match if Daniel Bryan had won at Fastlane. That never really made sense, because it's like, dude, you're going to get a title match regardless of who you're going to be facing, so it shouldn't matter to you.
But the man talked about my wife.
But it's in their defense, they saved it. They actually, did a course correction that actually worked this time.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they turned the corner with him. Like his promo last week, I think it washed away all the.
This is his best one.
It washed away all the stupidity that came before.
Did. And then Daniel Bryan. I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with Daniel Bryan about anything. Like, he's the guy who everybody. I don't want to say everybody. Wrestling fans want to see win. I know a lot of casuals hate Daniel Bryan just because of how small he is. I see that all the time. People are like, "Oh, it's like back in my day, blah 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 was a wrestling champion. You're not this little guy." But it's like, wrestling fans, you want to see Daniel Bryan win. Will he actually win? I feel he's just in there pretty much just to eat the pinfall, honestly. I prefer Roman retain over Edge. Would prefer Daniel Bryan to win overall. If I was in control of it, I would have Daniel Bryan win. Yeah. Honestly, I feel Edge is pinning Bryan to win the title here. It protects Roman. It could build up to Edge versus Daniel Bryan at the next pay-per-view. You could even keep Roman off TV for like a month, and then he, shows up again the next pay-per-view and attacks. Storybook for Edge to win the title back. Honestly, I would rather have it be Daniel Bryan or Roman, but if I have to choose in a prediction, I'm going with Edge as my prediction to win. The hater of WCW title belts, what do you think of this matchup here?
I would say, I honestly cannot call this match. I mean, an argument either one of the three winning would make me happy. I think Daniel Bryan winning would make me the happiest. But I would not mind Roman Reigns retaining. I would not mind Edge retaining. Winning, not retaining. But the whole idea is if Edge wins, now he's gonna be the heel champion. He cannot. I mean, I rarely like heel versus heel, so you can't go with Roman versus Edge, who's the former champion, against the current champion. Against the thing, so you're gonna have to have Daniel Bryan be that guy, and as you said, maybe a smart way to do it would be to take Roman off TV for a while. I think if I was telling a story in the grand scheme of things and everything, I would have Roman win and find something to justify Daniel Bryan being taken out of the title picture. Not necessarily him being pinned, but a rivalry comes the next night on the post WrestleMania SmackDown, someone viciously attacks him, and this is where we go now with Bryan.
Yeah.
And then you got Edge versus Roman, but then again, Edge turned a corner this week, which I think it's hard to walk back what he said to make him a sympathetic character again. It's he got pushed over the edge and now he likes it. That's how you can see, if you don't mind the pun there. But I don't know, it's honestly out of all the matches on this year's WrestleMania both nights, it's very rare that the main event is the most intriguing match, but the main event is the most intriguing match.
It is.
It can go either one of three ways, and people are going to be happy. And there is so much possibilities to go afterwards from 1 to 1. I don't know. I just can't call it. My heart is with Daniel Bryan, but I don't see him winning it, honestly. I think right now, as I'm talking to you, I think Roman's retaining. But I'm excited for it.
I prefer it, but yeah, I'm going with Edge. But I would prefer Roman. I'm never gonna go against Bryan, but I love Roman's reign, so I would. Nope, I didn't even mean that to come together that way. But I think his title reign has been excellent, and I would actually love to see it continue.
It has, and
it's like one of those things.
And the brilliant thing is Roman has done it with minimal ring work. He has done it with
exactly
what's between the rings. It's the promos, the backstage segments, even the periods during his matches where he's not actually wrestling, he's just trash talking. Those have all built him.
And his character is so cold now. It's I love it. Like his demeanor, like way he not just way he demands like respect when he's there, but when you watch Roman Reigns on TV right now, like, you're glued to him. Like you hang on to every word you say. And if you were to tell people that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they would have laughed your ass off. Like they would have been like, no, there's no way, Roman Reigns is going to be the most intriguing character on TV. He's become fantastic in his role.
Exactly.
He is what a heel champion should be. He comes in, gets the fuck out of a person, he walks away. He's basically like a Brock Lesnar type, but different.
Who said that?
Well, he is. He's basically if Lesnar didn't,
No, I agree with you. That's what I told y'all when he first debuted. He is what we want Brock Lesnar to be. He can talk, and he can bring it, and he comes in and he can have matches. Because Brock, all he did was just dominating the ring, and then Paul did the talking. Here, Paul does talk. But Roman can talk for himself also, and it works.
And Roman actually talks for himself. Paul is like, he's just a guy on the side.
Paul is his legit agent.
Yeah.
Paul isn't his mic man. Paul is his agent. Paul is who he sends to go and talk to Pierce, to go and get Uso, to do any errand he needs.
Yeah.
And the brilliance of it,
Paul still makes it work.
Doesn't do that stuff.
The brilliance of it is like Paul actually, Paul gives you the impression that he is the wall. He has this trust thing with Brock Lesnar, or he knows Brock Lesnar tolerates him, and he seems like legit scared for his job every moment he's next to Reigns, or like every time Reigns gives him something to do, which is perfect. And also like there hasn't been a champion that has milked the whole idea of the stroke as champion as much as Reigns has done. That's like, so there are people who have done it before, but like not to the level where Reigns' whole deal is like, I'm the champion, I deserve special treatment and I'm gonna use that to my advantage, and there it is. It's really like his character is new. He has broken ground that has not been broken before, and you gotta love him for it. Are you guys doing the whole frozen thing again, or is it?
No, I was waiting for you to get done. You're supposed to say James, supposed to toss to me.
Well, I thought it was already thought. Okay, sorry, James.
No, because I don't want to interrupt.
Wait, may I, James? May I pass it to you? Oh,
yeah.
James.
I bet it's going to be a WCW title thing. How original! Please go ahead. Do your little old school Marky trying to prove that we are traditional shtick. Go ahead.
Old school Marky.
James, as a fellow old school Marky traditionalist who does enjoy the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, what do you think of this Universal title bout right here?
I don't know why I'm laughing.
WrestleMania next Sunday?
I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not funny.
Well, Joe. Well, Joe, let me tell you what I think. I think it's going to be an awesome main event. Out of all the matches, minus The Fiend, this one I'm really interested in. And I'm going to agree that Roman has to win. I'm thinking Roman's going to win. And the next program Daniel Bryan's going to be in will be against Edge. And this one you're going to start having the dream matches with Edge.
Yeah.
And I think a heel Edge versus a face Daniel Bryan will be a good match to go. Because the problem with this, if anyone except Roman wins, who's going to be the next contender? See what I mean? Like Edge, yeah, but I don't want to see Edge as champion. I don't really want to see Edge as champion. Not now, because Roman is too well. I love DB. I want DB to be champion, but it's not going to happen. That's the problem they facing is who are their next champions lined up. I could see Roman versus Big E. I could see Roman versus Cesaro. Roman versus Self in a weird way. They can do that. Roman versus Self and stuff like that. It could even be Self versus Edge. You see how there's more, not for the title, but other matches they can build up to Roman. So I agree. Roman has been great. There's just something about him. I enjoy seeing him on SmackDown. I enjoy his slow walk down that aisle that Master Heater hates.
I don't,
because his presence just come in.
I don't hate it. Like it's just that they do it multiple times per show. It's like, yeah, okay, I get.
Oh, I know. Kind of like how WCW did Bill Goldberg when he was a WCW World Heavyweight Champion, which he later on held on Monday Night Raw as well.
Wait. Did Bill Goldberg use the WCW entrance more time, multiple times in one show?
I ain't gonna sell that shit. No,
I'm not selling that either.
You just lost. You guys are not even on the same page. How do you think you're gonna revive the WCW title picture when you can't even?
Clearly, because we're gonna have Sashi Blackheart carried on in a tank. I'd rather see a tank come down the aisle with a penis rocket shoot out.
All right.
But they kind of look like penis when she shoots them. Anyway,
I got that. I just, you offset it by saying Shotzi Blackheart. That's why I'm not like.
Yeah, I know. Because she's your favorite. I get it. So yeah, Roman has to win, and I think it's going to be a great match. But that's what I'm thinking it's going to be, and that's what they put Daniel Bryan at a safe face for Roman, because Roman can't outright destroy Edge, and people are like, oh God, Roman this. So
it's also
thinking DB is going to be to take the pin.
Yeah, an underrated aspect of it. I think Roman has not moved into that phase of his title reign where he's on the downslope, or there's someone primed, or he feels threatened, or like. Say what you want about the
still feels fresh.
Yeah, Edge and Bryan have not been presented as being actual threats to him as a performer. He still feels above it. That's what they are getting out of it. That's why I think the time to beat Roman is not now. It's the star. If the stars align, it should be at a WrestleMania, but it just is not aligned for this one. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Macho Drive-In. If you liked that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the Drive-In. For full episodes of our podcast, you may look us up on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcasts are available. Just search for Outlaw Macho Drive-In. And if it's not too much trouble, would you help us out here? Spread the word, share. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Bye.